The Mandalorian continues to deliver with Episode 4, Sanctuary. You thought I was going to say New Hope? No. Mandalorian appears to be the new hope for Star Wars in its terrible current state of affairs. So this one introduced the character that, and I've already forgotten her name. Did it even mention it? Oh boy, I'd have to watch it again. That's the way that goes. But I was just getting lost in the adventure, you know. But Gina Carano, I believe that's how you pronounce it, debuted. The promos and whatnot and images and pictures, of course, featured her, and we knew she was going to be in it. And some people thought she might even be the Mandalorian, and that this was a bait and switch. And Pedro was just doing the voice of the character, and when you take off the helmet, oh, it's Gina. But no, that wasn't the case. It seemed like something somebody would want to pull in a C. You thought it was a good show, and you thought it was a man, you know, that kind of thing. But no, she's a former soldier in the rebellion, and is apparently looking to hide for whatever reason. And a Mandalorian finds sanctuary on this planet that's, you know, out of the way, and hardly anyone ever goes to it, so he figures it's perfect for him and Baby Yoda to hide. And before he gets there, we see a typical plot, once again, from old westerns, which does play to the strengths of this show, of where people are in trouble, and so they seek a gunslinger to come defend them. And turns out you find a gunslinger who just happens to have, despite his better efforts, to have, yes, a heart of gold. And this is what happens here. It's kind of like Unforgiven and stuff like that, you know. And this little tribe get bullied and attacked by a nasty tribe who just so happens, you don't see it in the opening scene, but you know it's there, and then you see it in full force. An Imperial Walker, not the some people call them AT-ATs, the AT-AT. They do mention the name, and I've already forgotten it, what the designation for the two-legged version, but they have one. And so, Mandalorian and Gina, after Mandalorian and Gina fight because she suspects he's got her bounty and he's come to collect. And no, it's all a misunderstanding, but they fight, and they fight to a draw, and so now they respect each other, you see. And then they made love. No. And so I guess they trade some war stories and whatnot, and then she ends up deciding to help him out when two of the tribesmen seek him out to hire him for the very purpose of defending them against these marauders. And that's pretty much it. That's the plot. And that's actually very, very good, because keeping it simple helps the show a great deal. And it's through the performances and the credibility that they lend to them that gives extra strength and depth to this series. And all involved do perform this very well. Even little Baby Yoda. Yeah, that's right. And so... So this is how they try to even the odds with the ugly tribe, the Klingons, coming in and stealing their stuff. And then they'll wait a season when they've grown some more crops and then come and steal that, you know. So what does he do? Well, he trains them, and he and Gina, and they build up a defense, and he comes up with a plan about how they can trash the Walker. And of course, hey, remember the Battle of Endor when those teddy bears defeated them? Yeah, so it's not impossible. So all they do is a simple trick. Gina and Mandalorian head over there, blow up the ugly tribe camp, and they chase after them with the Walker, and then they wait for him to get it bogged down in the little creek that's surrounding the tribe. And it doesn't fall for it at first, so then they have to have a battle there, and of course they win. And eventually it does fall in, and it collapses, and they shoot it, and yay, everything's great. Mandalorian considers just leaving Baby Yoda behind because he would be safe there, and it's kind of sad because Gina says, well, you know, he's going to break his little heart. And he says, yeah, he'll get over it. Well, then another bounty hunter shows up who has the fob. Now, this is probably the biggest flaw in the story. Mando doesn't know this. Yes, he does. So the idea that he could just leave Baby Yoda there and no one would ever find him is absurd. You found him. How'd you find him, Mando? That's right. The fob. So Baby Yoda is still trackable. Now, you think he would have tried to figure out a way to disable it some kind of way? I mean, I don't know if he could perform surgery or whatever it is that they track him with. But if you can't do that, then you're never really going to find a place where he's safe until you've killed everybody who's after him, which is probably where this is going to go. So that's a bit of a flaw, that he wouldn't figure that out. You know, it has to just happen where the Baby Yoda almost gets killed, but Gina gets the drop on this other bounty hunter. So that's how that goes. There's other little aspects. He does take his helmet off. No, you don't see him. He explains the code where he can never take his helmet off in front of other people. He can take it off in private, but not in front of other people. And there's this woman who's clearly got the hots for him and is inviting him, hey, we could raise our kids together. They keep referring to Baby Yoda as his boy. So I guess that establishes the gender. I suspect that Baby Yoda actually is Baby Yoda, as in a clone of Jedi Master Yoda. So that might be where the plot's going with that. But anyway, so she's like getting all, romantic with him, and he's not exactly uninterested in this, but he figures he's damaged goods, he's a dangerous man, and he just won't fit in the quiet life. Gina is telling him, hey, you can just take the stupid helmet off and live out your life here. But of course, he can't, and he can't leave Baby Yoda because the danger is still there, and all he's doing is bringing even worse danger than the evil enemy tribe to these, innocent and nice farming communities. So he has to move on. And of course, if he had stayed, that's the end of the story, and the show's over at 4 episodes. So he couldn't do that either. So off he goes. Now, I'm sure there were some complaints. The women were barking orders at the men in the battle, who seemed a bit cowardly. Gina gets a hold of Mando's rifle. But look, it's a situation called for it, huh? Now, the thing about Gina Carano is her physical presence fits the bill for this type of strong woman type, and not from South Park. I mean, a woman who can believably carry off the idea that she's a fighter and can be a threat to a man. Whereas you see too many of these things like Atomic Blonde and so on and so forth, with no explanation whatsoever of how a toothpick-limbed supermodel can take on a man built like a Navy SEAL or something like that, and not just one, but two or three, and wipe them all out, and then just slowly slink away at her high heels. It's just not believable. With Gina, on the other hand, you can kind of lend some credibility to that. Plus, there's the added bonus of this is not an actual Western. It's not, the spy genre is set on Earth or what have you. This is in some galaxy far, far away. And who's to say what her species that she's from are capable of. Maybe they have superior strength than what humans have, and that sort of thing. Obviously with the superhero genre, you gotta give some amount of credibility to these superpowered women who can do that despite what physicality they may possess. It doesn't matter. It could be magic or some sort of sci-fi explanation or something like that. And that's pretty much the case here as well. But added to it is the fact that Gina is just so fit and yet manages to maintain her femininity and beauty. So she's just perfect for it. And she does okay here. She does a pretty good job of playing someone that Mando respects because she's proven her ability to him, because they fought to a draw and all that good stuff. And so I'm not that disappointed here. A few little things here and there, but nothing compared to the absolute garbage we've been put through for about 5 years now with this really ridiculous crap. I don't really see it seeping in. Now, a lot of complaints about woke politics or feminist politics or whatever it might be, the PC rules and that sort of thing. There's always been elements of that to a certain degree for as long as I've been alive, and I'm 49 years old. So there's been a lot of that, But here recently, it's all there is for the most part as a cover for lazy and sloppy work that had no plot or story or vision. And so if you criticize it, then you're somethingist or a phobe of some sort. Whatever it is to shield it from criticism, it tends to be the template for that sort of thing. So when you see a show like this that has a sort of nod to things like that from time to time, it seems larger than it really is. And, you know, it's just sort of there. You know, men and women argue and fight, so something like that could come along, and you see, well, they're doing this to put the man down and that sort of thing. It may not be the case. And sometimes, like I said, it just seems larger. Objects in the rear view seem farther than they are. It's that sort of thing. I don't think you can really, convict Mandalorian on that, or any of that at this point right now. So far, so good. We now only have 4 more episodes, which, I'm going to be kind of like, especially as good as it is, which granted seems even better because of the current state of affairs we're in, especially with Star Wars. Perhaps I would have thought it was just an okay show if the other products were good, but still, I'm really loving this show, and when it comes to an end, I'm going to be a little sad that there wasn't more, but at the same time, intellectually, I understand that's probably a good thing, because I've seen other shows that I see great potential in, but they get drowned down by filler and unnecessary crap because they just didn't have the material to make that many episodes. 8 is a pretty good run. You could squeeze out 10. But if you don't really have the material and you want to keep tight and simple to your plot and your adventure story and the point, then 8 it is, and that's probably a wise choice on their part. So, yeah, so far, so good for Mandalorian. So very, very good. Thank you for watching and listening. So why not like and subscribe? And check out that link description below. That'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you. There's also the link to my podcast on RadioMisfits.com, the Mr Nailsin Show. And, of course, there is the link to my other video channel on BitChute, because dark clouds are swirling about YouTube, aren't they always? Yeah. So just in case, you might want to subscribe to me as well on the Mr Nailsin channel. Yeah. All right. Again, thanks for watching. We'll do it again soon. Bye-bye.